Hi there. I was thinking that this Baby Steps to Drawing Success series of videos would not be complete if I didn't include some information about the drawing tools, the things you're going to use. So in this video, let's talk about pencils a little bit. Now, pencils are one of the newest drawing tools that exist. They've only been around for a couple hundred years at most. And we call them pencil leads that are inside, but because when it was first discovered, when graphite was discovered, people didn't know what it was. So they thought it was lead. But it is graphite. Graphite's a kind of super hardened carbon. And it's just, the artists really embraced it quickly. It was like, wow, this is a very cool material for drawing. And before that, there was ink, a quill pen and brushes, but there were no pencils. So we find pencils really, really handy, but there's a lot of different numbers. So let's talk about those numbers for a minute. Share the screen, show you a picture. So I've just laid out some pencils and taken a picture of them. And right in the middle, we have good old number 2. And number 2 is our, the yellow pencil we grew up with. And so there's 2 numbering systems. The number 2 was an American system. And it seems like all we've got left is the number 2. There was a 1 and a 3 and a 4, but we've got the number 2. So that's our kind of our standard. And what it's equal to in the European system, that the artists, they wanted more variety. They didn't just want 4 hardnesses, and that's what we're dealing with here. They wanted a whole bunch, give them more variety and versatility. So we have our number 2, and it's equal to the HB. H stands for hard, B stands for black, and HB puts us right in the middle between the harder pencil cores and the softer pencil cores. So the softer it gets, the higher the number. So I'm showing you a B, 2B, 4B, 6B, all the way up to an 8B. Very soft. And so very, very black. And as we move up in the higher numbers of the H, the hardness, they become harder and harder and a lighter and lighter gray. Now, these lighter grays are very useful, and so are the dark blacks. The reason the HB and the number 2 are so cool because it's hard enough so that it doesn't smudge. And it's black enough to make a really nice mark. So if all you have is a number 2 or an HB, you can do a lot of drawing. And these others, though, it's really nice to have. And the idea being you don't need to apply a lot of pressure to get an effect. So on your hard pencils, you can get a nice gray, pale mark, and you can start a drawing that way to kind of get your placement, your layout, kind of what you're figuring out. And then you can move into a softer pencil to get more contrast and things like that. So having just a few in both directions can be very useful, but don't feel like you need to run out and get any. Although if you do, there are some really nice kits available. So this is one from the big box store, and it gives you some variety. It gives you up to a 4H and up to a 6B. So, and it comes in a nice tin that can be very handy, so that you can carry it around with you. And one of the things I wanted to share also were things like just having a basic sketch pad. So if all you have is just a few pencils, a sketch pad, and some kind of an eraser and a sharpener, obviously. So that way you've got a really basic, nice kit from which to take your drawing anywhere. And just a note on those B pencils. I do carry a little sketch pad around with me. I keep it in my purse. And that's great. But if you leave a soft pencil drawing in your sketch pad and you don't take it out, it will smudge. And I did a drawing plein air outdoors at a local park, and you cannot tell what it was. I mean, it just smudged away, disappeared off of the paper because it rubbed against the paper that was next to it, sitting in my purse. And so that drawing is long gone. So if you do use a softer pencil, something softer than an HB or a number 2, get it out of your sketch pad or use a fixative. And we'll talk about that sort of thing another time. But I just wanted to let you know that the B pencils really will smudge. So anyway, there's your little primer on pencils for today. And those are your graphite pencils. We'll talk about colored pencils and pens in other videos. So I hope that was helpful for you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.